Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm here to break down the college basketball Draftkings slate on January 12th. Got a big 7-game slate today. A lot of good ACC, Big 12, SEC games, so we're going to get into all of that. Before I do, make sure to leave a like on this video and subscribe to this channel. Leave a comment. Tell me who you think the best play today is. I'll let you know who I think the best play today is as we go through the plays. All that stuff really helps me grow, and I just want to continue growing this channel as we are in NBA and college basketball season, so that is what's going on right now, and we are trying to just spit out videos every single day. If you want to get this spreadsheet with projections every single day for the rest of the college basketball season, you should hit that link down in the description below. For only $5 a month, you're going to get this every single day, projections every single day. So be sure to check that out as well. But I think that's really all I got to say. We're going to start talking about the players, where we are going to start with Jeremy Roach, the Duke guard playing against Virginia Tech. He is $5,000. I have him projected for 34 minutes. He has a usage rate of 17.5 and an assist rate of 20.2. He just feels a little bit cheap. This game is going to have a slow game pace, a 71.65 game pace. It's not the ideal pace spot for Duke here, but I don't hate going to Jeremy Roach at all. The line on this game is an implied game total of 141.5, with Duke having an implied team total of 70.9, so that's solid. Nothing too great, doesn't really stand out that much as a game overall, but Jeremy Roach does look like a pretty good point per dollar play at $5,000, so I do like going there. And then for the rest of that game, we have Virginia Tech, where we got Keve Aluma, Tyrese Radford, and Justin Mutz I'm going to be interested in. I do have Keve Aluma 7,600. I have him projected for 34 minutes. He's a 1.009 point per minute producer with a usage rate of 28.4. A low assist rate, 10.4, but he does have a decent rebound rate of 13.9, so he's pretty much just doing a lot for his team. He's been their best player this year, and at $7,600, doesn't feel too expensive to pay for him. It is a pace-up spot for Virginia Tech, so that does help them out a little bit. Tyrese Radford and Justin Mutz just look like pretty solid mid-range plays to me. Mutz is 5,500, or Radford's 5,500, Mutz is 5,900. I have Tyrese Radford projected for 32 minutes and Justin Mutz projected for 31 minutes. They're both 0.7 guys. Radford has a usage rate of 16.3 and an assist rate of 13.9, where Mutz has a usage rate of 17.4 and an assist rate of 14.3 and a rebound rate of 14.1. I do prefer Mutz, but he is a little bit more expensive than Radford, but both look like pretty solid mid-range plays to me. They're definitely going to be guys I want to get into tournament lineups. If I'm playing cash, probably not going to go to any of these guys, but definitely like them in tournaments. Now we got Carolina and Syracuse, where this game has an implied game total of 143.5, pretty high total on the day. Carolina has an implied team total of 73.5, Syracuse with a 70. So, I mean, this is going to be a pretty decently high-scoring game. This is a game I like to attack. This is going to be a fast-paced game. I believe it's a fast-paced game on the day. It's 75.3, so that is very good to look at. We do like targeting fast-paced games. And then the two guys I'm going to be interested in on Carolina are Leaky Black and Daron Sharp. Leaky Black is $6,400, with Daron Sharp is $7,700. I have Leaky Black projected for 33 minutes. He's a 0.7 point per minute producer with a usage rate of 14.5, an assist rate of 11.8, and a rebound rate of 11.1. Doesn't really do a ton, but he does play the most minutes on this team right now, and he's not like that expensive at $6,400. So I don't think he's like a lock and play, but definitely someone I do like going to in tournaments a lot. I think he does project out pretty well. And Daron Sharp, I mean, the thing with Daron Sharp is he is such a good point per minute guy. If we ever got him in getting into the 30s and minutes, I mean, this guy would be one of the most expensive players on DraftKings every single day. But right now, I only have him projected for 28 minutes at a 1.2 point per minute clip. He has a usage rate of 25.8, an assist rate of 16.1, and a rebound rate of 21.3. I mean, basically, he's the guy when he's on the floor. He just isn't on the floor a lot. Does get in some foul trouble sometimes. But I mean, yeah, I don't usually like paying up for guys that aren't going to play as many minutes, but he's just so productive in those minutes, and it's not like it's fluky either. Like, high usage, assists, and rebound rates do show that he is just doing a lot out there for his team. So, Daron Sharp, I mean, he's only going to be a tournament play. I'm not ever going to play someone at 7,700 who plays 28 minutes in cash, but definitely Daron Sharp is someone I definitely do like a lot today. He is definitely someone I have some exposure to. Now we go look at Syracuse, where we got Marek Dolezaj. He's played there for 4 years. I've watched this guy play at Syracuse for 4 years, and I still have no idea how to say his name. Joseph Girard and Alan Griffin. Those are going to be the three guys I'm interested in on them. Dolezaj, he's been playing so many minutes. Like, even 40 today. I mean, he's played 40 each of the last two games. He has been just a minutes guy, just playing a ton of minutes. He hasn't been super productive, but he's been pretty decently productive. 6,400 doesn't seem like too much to pay for him. He's a 0.8 guy, usage rate is 16.3, and assist rate 21.1. That projects out pretty well for him. Joe Girard is $5,900. I have him for 35 minutes. He's a .8 guy. He does have a higher usage rate, though, at 22.4, and a high assist rate, 22.9. He's a starting point guard. This is definitely something I do like today at 5,900. He out of all the 5K guys I've talked about, this is definitely my favorite one so far. Has highest pace game, high total game, 35 minutes, high usage and high assist rate. That looks really good for me. Then Alan Griffin at 7,200. I have him for 35 minutes. He's a 1.04 point per minute guy. Usage rate 24.5, and assist rate 18.4, and a rebound rate of 11.8. That grades out pretty well as well. So yeah, those are going to be the guys I'm interested in on Syracuse. Now we're going to go talk about Florida as they're going to be facing off against Ole Miss today. This game has an implied game total of 138.5. Florida has an implied team total of 71, and Ole Miss has an implied team total of 67.9. When you go look at the pace of this game, it's going to have a pace of 74.65. It's slightly above average today. This is going to be a nice pace game to target. On Florida, we got Trey Mann and then a guy in the cover, Scotty Lewis. Trey Mann, $7,300. I have him projected for 35 minutes. He's a 1.02 point per minute guy. Usage rate 25.1, assist rate 26.2. Honestly, Florida, they've been struggling ever since Keontae Johnson went down, as expected. But Trey Mann's been really good. This is definitely a guy I'm been pleasantly surprised on how good of a point guard he is. So I definitely do like Trey Mann here. 1.02 point per minute guy. He has a high usage, high assist rate. You're going to have to pay a little bit for him, but 7,300 still doesn't feel too much. Then Scotty Lewis at 6,900. He's been playing most minutes on this team. I gave him 38 today. Almost a 1 point per minute guy. The usage rate's only at 18.5 and only 11.8 assist rate, but when he is scoring, he is good. I don't think I want to go to Scotty Lewis for cash at all. He's definitely only going to be a tournament play because of this 18 point. These numbers right here aren't fantastic, but he's a really good player. Trey Mann, though, I do like for cash. He's just got good rates everywhere. Doesn't feel like he's too expensive, and he's in a good matchup. Then on the Ole Miss side, I'm interested in Devontae Shuler and KJ Buffin. I have Devontae Shuler projected for 37 minutes. He's a .86 guy with a usage rate 24.3 and assist rate 25.1. This guy has been the best player on this team. Devontae Shuler, this might be his fourth year. I don't know if he's a junior or senior this year, but he's a pretty good player. I've been watching him play for a few years now. Definitely like watching him. And then KJ Buffin on the other side, on the other side of his team, $6,300. I have him for 30 minutes. He's a 1.03 guy with a usage rate of 21.6, an assist rate of 11.5, and a rebound rate of 12.2. That grades out pretty well as well. So these guys I'm definitely interested in. These are going to be two guys that I definitely want to get a good bit of. Now we got Alabama and Kentucky, where this game has an implied team total of 148, or a game total of 148. It's going to be the highest one on the day. Alabama has an implied team total of 72.5. Kentucky has an implied team total of 69.6. I got to change that to say 148 for the projections, but it is 148. I just put in the Kansas one for whatever reason. So this game also is going to be a pretty much neutral pace game on a day. 73.8. The average is 73.05. So pretty much neutral pace game. But these guys, this team, super high team game total, but both these teams just don't have anyone that plays a ton of minutes, and that's priced accordingly. I just did not like the prices on the Alabama guys at all today, except for Herb Jones. Herb Jones is $7,400. I have him for 34 minutes. He's a 1.03 point per minute guy. Usage rate 24.6 and assist rate 13.7. That's just going to grade out well. He's been one of their two best players this year. He's more the hustle guy, defense guy. He's not going to be your go-to scorer like John Petty has been this year, but Herb Jones at $7,400 does look good. Another guy I didn't put here is Josh Primo. You could go there. He's been getting more minutes since Quinterly's out. Quinterly might play today, so be sure to look on that. If Javon Quinterly plays, then don't even listen to what I'm about to say about Josh Primo. But the thing about Josh Primo is I feel like we're just chasing points at this point. He got priced up after that massive game he had against Auburn on Saturday. So that worries me a little bit, but he still does project out as a good point per dollar play. So I didn't really put him in this video because I don't want to lead you guys astray here, because he really only scored a ton of points because he's knocking down every three he took. I don't really expect that to continue too much. So I am a little wary there, but he still does grade out pretty well. And then Davion Mintz, I just don't understand his pricing. Davion Mintz has been the only good player. Actually, Kentucky's won 3 straight now. But still, the only consistently solid player on Kentucky this year has been Davion Mintz. He's $6,000. I don't understand his pricing. He should be at $6,600. But I have him for 35 minutes. He's only a 0.7 guy, but he has a usage rate of 20.3 and assist rate 20.4. And we've seen him get to 40 minutes this year. So the minutes upside is definitely there for him. I don't understand the pricing on him at all. I told you my favorite play today. This is my favorite play today. Davion Mintz, $6,000. I love this play today. Alabama's a fast-paced team. It's a really good matchup for him. Definitely someone I want to get some exposure to. Now, Brad Davidson, Eli Brooks, we got the Wisconsin-Michigan game. This game is not a game I'm really all too interested in. It only has a total of 134. Wisconsin with an implied team total of 64.6. Michigan at 68.2. When you go look at the pace, it's going to be the slowest pace game of the day at 70.6. So none of the big names in this team I'm really all that interested in, but Brad Davidson and Eli Brooks do project out as good point per dollar plays. Brad Davidson's $4,900. I have him for 31 minutes. He's a 0.6 guy. For usage rate at 18.1 and assist rate is 16.3. He's going to be out there on the floor. He's 4,900. Hasn't been as productive this year in point per minute as we've seen in the past, especially last year, but still at $4,900, that still projects out as a pretty nice value. Eli Brooks at $5,400. I have him for 35 minutes. He's a 0.6 guy. For usage rate is 16.1 and an assist rate of 18.6. That's good as well. Both those guys just project out as pretty good point per dollar guys, but this is not a game I'm really too interested in targeting. Ironically, it's probably the best actual real life game of the day because these are two of the best teams in the country, but for DFS, I'm not going to be all that interested. Now we got Kansas and Oklahoma State. This game has an implied team total or implied game total of 143. Kansas has an implied team total of 73.4. Oklahoma State at 69.6. This game's going to be a pretty fast-paced game at 74.65. And the Kansas guys that I'm most interested in are going to be Christian Brown and Ochai Agbaji. I didn't put Marcus Garrett on here, but I think he's fine too. He just seemed a little bit too expensive for me, in my opinion. But Christian Brown, $5,800. I have him for 38 minutes. He's a 0.8 guy. Usage rate 18.7. Assist rate 12.8. He's just kind of been a nice little bright spot for this team, and he just feels a little underpriced, especially in a really fast-paced, up-tempo game. I think he should be like 62, 6,300, so he just feels a little bit underpriced to me, and he's definitely someone I want to get exposure to. And then Ochai Agbaji is definitely my favorite play on Kansas today, $6,700. I have him for 38 minutes. He's a 0.9 guy, almost one whole point per minute producer. Usage rate 21.4, assist rate of 14.2. He's been their second best player this year. He might be their best player this year. Ochai Agbaji's he's like an underrated player in college basketball. So definitely someone I want to get exposure to. And then on the other side of the game, you have Cade Cunningham, the freshman phenom, who's probably going to be a top 3 pick, maybe a number 1 overall pick. He's very, very good. He's expensive though. You're gonna have to pay to get Cade Cunningham today. And honestly, he might be a little bit too expensive. I just needed to put someone on Oklahoma State, and this is your highest usage guy. 28.8 usage rate, 21.8 assist rate, 1.1 point per minute player. Like, he just, especially when there's not a ton of value on his slate, I just don't see the need to go pay up for Cade Cunningham today. I think he's fine. I'm like, if you get Cade Cunningham in the lineup, it's not going to go, oh my God, why is Cade Cunningham there? Like, no, that's fine. He has a ton of upside. He's one of the best players in the country, but I just don't think this is really needed today, or I don't feel like it's going to be as optimal today as we've seen in other slates. Now we got the last game of the day, or the last game I'm going to talk about. I don't think it's not the actual last game of the day, but Providence and Marquette facing off here. This game has an implied game total of 139.5. Providence has an implied team total of 67.8 with Marquette at 71.2. We go look at the pace. It's going to be a slow-paced game at only 70.75. That's not really ideal here. But we do have some interesting, more value plays, I guess, on this game. More than the pay-up guys is what I like here. Greg Gant is $4,000. I have him for 27 minutes. He's a 0.7 point per minute guy. It's just, there's not a lot of, I mean, you probably noticed as I've been going through this, there's really not a lot of value on this slate. Not a lot of cheap value. So at $4,000, 27 minutes, that should probably help you out there. And then AJ Reeves is $5,300. I have him for 37 minutes. That's another, he's going to play a ton of minutes at $5,300. I do like that. And then Justin Lewis is probably going to be my favorite value, $4,800. I have him for 28 minutes, a 1.06 guy, for usage rate 23.9 and a rate of 15.3. 28 minutes isn't a ton, but at $4,800 with those rates and a good matchup against Providence, that should pay off. And then Dawson Garcia is going to be the last guy on these teams I like. I think he's a decent pay-up option in this game. I have him for 34 minutes. He's a 1.01 point per minute producer with usage rate of 22.3 and a rebound rate of 14.1. So he grades out pretty well as well. So I think that's really all I got to say on the individual players. I will say this day, like I said a minute ago, it doesn't feel like a day where you're going to do stars and scrubs. I don't see a lot of really cheap value that I really like on this slate. I definitely prefer to probably just play more mid-range players. I'm probably not going to be paying up for Cade Cunningham because I just don't see really the value for me to get there. And he doesn't stand out that much where I want to get there. So probably going to be playing some more mid-range guys in tournaments. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. Make sure to leave a like on it, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, tell me who you think the best player is below, turn the notification bell. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day and make some money tonight.